Okay, this 880 from Farmer Tech Holtz Pharma. It's a clone saw. I call them clown saws. My buddy here, he helped me work on it. Let me tell you the story on it. It's been on the channel before quite a bit. A guy called me up out of Ohio, wanted to make a deal with me. You know, I've only sold 12 chainsaws on YouTube, so it's not like very profitable. He says, hey, can you do all this for $10.50? And I made a mistake and I said yes, because it was a 5-foot bar, 3 chains at 157 links each, 404 chain, parts kits, and I just didn't make any money after shipping. And I basically told him, I'll help you make sure your saw stays running, you know, if it's a mechanical issue, if there's a part or something like that. Well, I also told him to run 1 to 32. He was going to be milling, and then it didn't run. And then he said he took it to an Amish guy, local Amish guy. And he said the Amish guy said there's something wrong with the piston because he took the muffler off. Took the muffler off and looked at the piston and said there was something wrong with the piston. So he sent it back to me. Well, he didn't put a return address on it, and I don't know if it was like insured or not, but he didn't pack it either, so it cracked the top cover because it was just thrown in a box, but it also had gasoline in it. So the post office wouldn't deliver it to me. So his saw went missing. And I'm like, when did you send your saw? And it's just missing. So it's like, this saw is gone. Well, about 5 weeks afterwards, I went to the post office and I'm like, what the hell ever happened to this guy's saw? I don't know if he said it in UPS, post office. They said, oh, we got your saw sitting right here. It had gasoline in it. We weren't going to put it in the truck, the little mail carrier truck. I'm like, well, why didn't you leave me notes? Well, they're supposed to leave you notes. Well, okay, whatever. So I got the saw. So I contacted him. I said, look, hey, I finally got the saw. So we worked at it, and we put another piston in it. And my buddy here with the jeans, in Jawa, he's on the channel. What'd you do to it?
I had to try to take all the transfer out the cylinder. Had some scarring in it.
Had some scarring in the cylinder.
Yeah, it still has a little bit, but...
One of the delays was I was ordering new cylinders from Farmer Tech overseas, and they made a mistake, and they didn't have them in stock, and they didn't ship them to me, and I didn't know it, and then I couldn't figure out what box it was in, and then it turns out they didn't send them. So that was a big delay. So there's a big delay, and I take responsibility for the big delay, but John doesn't want to pay anything. John just wants a saw fixed for free, and I sent it back to him at my expense. He says, well, you offered me an 070. I said, I offered you an 070 when I thought it was a mechanical failure. I didn't realize you ran 50 to 1 Stihl ultra milling a 5-foot bar when I told you 32 to 1. I'm like, why didn't you run 32 to 1? He's like, well, I bought Stihl oil and the directions say 50 to 1. I'm like, well, the directions from me, the guy that sold you the saw, is 32 to 1 for milling. So, you know, I mean, I can't take responsibility for you scoring it up milling at 50 to 1 with Stihl ultra. So anyway, John, I feel bad about the saw. I've thought about just putting it in a box and sending it to you, but that's not how it's going to work, because I'm not going to lose money on the situation with you not listening to me on 32 to 1. So if you want it, it's here. $300, because it's going to cost $80 to ship it. We got another carburetor, right? We put another carburetor in. I brought the carburetor. You put it in there. We put another piston in there, other rings.
Highway piston.
Other rings. And here I'm going to start it. So we had it started a minute ago, full disclosure. It's been cold for months, right? It's been sitting since I've been in China.
Yeah.
So all the way down, one up. I'm going to use, well, I'm not going to use decompression. Okay, now the crank is blue because it got hot. That means the bearings got hot. I can't guarantee anything about this saw, but you know, here it is. All I can say is $300 and I'll send it to you. I'll have it milling myself until you make a decision or until it doesn't mill anymore. Like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. Everybody can comment and tell me if I'm fair or not fair. Everybody before said the guy needs to come up and pay for something. But here it is. And take care. Thanks for watching the 880 story.